So, I am now the Pokemon World Champion, is what I hope to be able to say when this video is actually published. Because this is some more serious prep for now the World Championships. I did the serious prep back for EUIC. That didn't go so well, did it? So I definitely need to put in a bit more prep into this World Championships. So, yeah. Still qualified, even with a disastrous EUIC, I was still able to get 40-something or other in Europe with 650-ish points. So, like, decently over the amount that I needed. Given that I didn't qualify for the Japanese World Championships last year, I was a little bit suspicious as to whether I was just completely washed up and could not qualify for the World Championships again. The fact that I got it back in January was very, very nice. Like, that Toronto top 4 was very useful. So here I am, preparing for the World Championships now in Hawaii. At the time of this recording, it's about somewhere between 3 and 4 weeks until I would be competing at the tournament. So, and definitely less than that until I would fly out. So I need to be ready, and this is theoretically going to be what I'm running. Who knows if this changes, but this thing. Right, so everyone's running Clear Amulet Koraidon. No one's running Choice Band. Like, literally no one is running Choice Band. But in fact, what's this thing? Lab Mouse. It's Lab Mouse, isn't it? So, this thing here. Should have got this open before I started to record. But anyway, this thing, Lab Mouse. Good tool to see some things. Where's Koraidon? Obviously, there's going to be very little editing in these serious prep videos. But here's Koraidon. So, where are we going? Where's the items? There we go. I don't know if I can scroll across. But, yeah. Okay. Just trust, that says Choice Scarf, not Choice Band. There's 3 items that Koraidons are using. So, because the cropping I have means that I can't show you. But yeah, trust. There's no Choice Band here. There's Clear Amulet, there's Choice Scarf, there's Assault Vest. That is it. That is literally the only Koraidons that are being used. So, this could very much be flying under the radar at the moment, and will surprise everyone at Worlds. That's what happened with the Choice Specs Miraidon in the very first Regulation G Regional. Because people weren't ready for the power that that had, and then it just blasted through the tournament. This could do the same. A Terrifier Choice Band Flare Blitz / Heat Crash, if it's 120 base power, from Koraidon is stronger than the Choice Specs Electro Drift from the Terra Electric Miraidon. Like, it's just a little bit stronger. So surely, if the Choice Specs Miraidon is used a lot, this should be as well. And I think the main thing that's putting people off would be that this can be intimidated, Miraidon can't be. But then, if you get intimidated, you are as strong as a Clear Amulet Koraidon would be, because you'll be at neutral with the Clear Amulet, but with Choice Band, you'll be effectively +1 back down to neutral. So, in like half the games that Incineroar are there, yes, you'll be as strong as Clear Amulet, but then in the other half of the games, you're just OHKOing everything. Especially with like 120 base power, 120 base power, 120 base power. Normally 120 base power, but has the fallback of Flare Blitz. With the Choice Band, with the Orichalcum Pulse boost in the sun, this should be KOing everything, right? So, initially, like, my main plan was to run just a Calm Mind, Drain Kiss, Calyrex Shadow Rider, but everyone's going to be ready for that. I think that if I were to win the World Championships, it has to be with something that no one is ready for. Because that's kind of my thing. I'm used to that at this point, using anti-meta stuff. And it's finding the successful anti-meta. So this is my best shot at thinking of something that is going to be flying under the radar that people haven't explored. The damage it does is ridiculous. Like in just a couple of my practice games before I started recording, I did 99% to a Raging Bolt with a Terrifier Flare Blitz. Like, almost OHKO'd it, and it KO'd itself to its own life orb. So yeah, it's really, really strong. I'm debating between Close Combat and Collision Course. Close Combat's stronger, and with the Choice Band, it'll be way stronger than Collision Course would be. Obviously, the defense drops are not ideal. So, Collision Course is stronger against normal types as well because of the super effective hit boost. And the fact that I like to bolt myself out is a little bit anti-synergistic with the Close Combat. Flare Blitz is obviously going to recoil as well, but I prefer to bolt myself out. So this is just my starting spread. Like, I could easily fall back on just a 252 Jolly Koraidon, but this is what I'm going for at the moment. This is a very likely chance to survive a Glacial Lance from Calyrex Ice Rider with this much HP. Going more than that is not very efficient. So I'm anticipating the base 100s. I'll see if I need to go faster, and then dumped attack conveniently gets to the bump. So yeah, that's just what I'm starting with. So yeah, Koraidon, Choice Band. No one's using it. So flying under the radar, hopefully. Then it was paired with Volcarona. Like, that was the next thing that came along. because I've been liking Volcarona a lot just on other teams that I've been practicing with. And it's very nice and supportive, like Rage Powder, Tailwind, Will-O-Wisp, those are very good supportive moves. And then suddenly there's a nuke available because of the Orichalcum Pulse setting the Sun for Volcarona, and then you get to go for a Sun-boosted Overheat coming from 135 special attack, which can OHKO things itself. And that's one of the main things I like about my support Pokemon. I like support Pokemon that can still be able to take knockouts themselves. So Volcarona is an ideal partner for Koraidon, in my opinion. So this should be quite nice. Things I'm debating. Do I just run Flamethrower instead of Overheat and then just sack off the Wide Lens for a different item? But like, I can't deal with the inaccuracy anymore. I missed too many moves. So one of my main things is I want to be as accurate as possible on my team that I'm bringing to Worlds. I've got Draco here, so that's another inaccurate move. But otherwise, everything's 100% accurate. That's one of the main reasons why I gravitated towards Koraidon as well, because it's 100% accurate restricted. That's the most important one, in my opinion, to be 100% accurate. I was looking at Kyogre and then just couldn't deal with that with Origin Pulse and Hydro Pump. But yeah, Overheat in the Sun, that's really strong. But I'm going to miss, so Wide Lens. Pairs with the Will-O-Wisp as well. If I sacrifice Will-O-Wisp and change it to just Protect or something like that, then I would probably just switch back to Flamethrower, just because of the accuracy. But Flamethrower in the Sun, 2 shots, like most neutral hits. Overheat has the potential to just OHKO things. Like, Overheat can OHKO a Calyrex Ice Rider, Flamethrower can't. So that's why I'm going with that for now. Terra type, don't know yet. I'm just sticking with Fire for massive damage. I'll work out what the Terra type is a little bit later. Then Walking Wake. I've thought, like, in just little bit of practice, has been very good with Koraidon. Like, people are saying that it's, like, not that usable, just use Raging Bolt, and some people use both, and I've been considering Raging Bolt for sure. But just in the tiny bit of practice, this has been really good. Like, I think this is, like, quite well placed at the moment. Another thing that might be flying under the radar that people just aren't using. Obviously, you should pair it on a Sun team, but yeah, this is actually pretty sweet. Terra Water, I think, is going to be the best Terra for Walking Wake. I could go for a defensive one, but I would do that if I didn't have Life Orb. That's just sacrificing my HP, so the defensiveness doesn't really matter. And actually, Terra Water is a defensive type, because you're neutral to Electric and Grass as a Water Dragon, and then when you Terra, yes, you become weak to those, but you don't need to Terra, and you'll be fine against those, and then you drop the weaknesses to Fairy and Dragon, which is quite nice. And the neutrality to Ice, so you can take on, like, Calyrex Ice Rider a little bit better. Pretty straightforward. Like, I don't feel the need for Flamethrower. I've got Volcarona, I've got Banded Koraidon, I don't need extra fire. So I've got Draco Meteor because you kind of need it to get the KOs it can get. And then I've got the fallback of, well, you're in range of this Dragon move, I can just go for 100% accuracy with Dragon Pulse. So, like, as I mentioned, the inconsistency of the inaccurate moves I want to avoid as much as possible, but I think the Draco Meteor is necessary for Walking Wake, and now I just have a fallback of Dragon Pulse, which is quite nice. Grimmsnarl, I've been using a lot. If you saw my Miraidon team that I brought to, which event was it? It was Stockholm, wasn't it? That was Electric Seed back then, and it basically had this moveset. I really like Scary Face over Thunder Wave is the sentence I was going for. Again, because of the inaccuracies. Yes, I can't Scary Face a Clear Amulet Pokemon. I can't Scary Face an opposing Clear Amulet Koraidon, for example. But yeah, just the fact that, yes, you are now -2 speed, rather than, do I hit this Thunder Wave? I prefer as the trade-off to, well, sometimes they get fully paralyzed. Just the consistency is very nice, in my opinion. I've always run Grimmsnarl with just, like, Fake Out. Yes, I've run Screens once, and I'm debating Screens on this team, because I do have 2 setup Pokemon that I'm getting to in a second. But yeah, I'm so used to this moveset at this point that I would struggle to change from it. This EV spread... the speed I want a faster Fake Out than Incineroar if I can help it. But it also outsped a 4-speed Raging Bolt, because when I have when I theoried Raging Bolt on this team, or paired with a Grimmsnarl, I've run 4-speed on Raging Bolt, and then I can go for Fake Tears into Thunderclap. So then the way around that works is really nice, because then a Terra Electric booster energy, like Photosynthesis / Life Orb, Thunderclap after a Fake Tears into a Calyrex Shadow Rider is an OHKO, which is quite sweet. But yeah, obviously I don't have Raging Bolt at the moment, but this is just the EV spread that I had when I had the Raging Bolt, and I've stuck with it because I usually have the faster Fake Out than Incineroar, unless they're running max speed, and don't, because that's a terrible Incineroar. I mean, Incineroar's not great to begin with, but people are running max speed, so I'm not going to try and catch them with this Grimmsnarl. So yeah, those were the main starting points of the team. I've been trying to flesh out the last 2 Pokemon for a little while, like Raging Bolt's been on the team, Brute Bonnet's been on the team. They very easily could come back, because I've been mainly theorying at the moment. Golden Go seems pretty nice on the team. This is just outspeeds Pelipper, max HP, like, hits the bump. It's pretty straightforward. I'm so used to boosting item, whether that's Iron Plate or Life Orb, and Terra Steel, that I'm just going to try that first. Yes, it should, like, like Terra Normal is very good, and it might need to be Terra Normal, but I'm going to stick with what I know for now, and then change it later if I feel like it's necessary. Just because that is what I'm used to. Golden Go can punish the Terra Fairies that people would want to go for in the face of like this banded close combat and the outrage that could come out. So it should theoretically pair quite nicely in that regard with Koraidon. It also gives me the fantasy core of Grimmsnarl, Golden Go, and Koraidon. I did have the Firewater Grass. I did have Superior on the team at this point because I want to try and force it onto my World's team if I can, and it still could be, but who knows? Because it pairs really nicely with this Grimmsnarl. Brute Bonnet is like I mentioned is considered, but yeah, like overall, I had a huge like light bulb moment when I came up with this Ursaluna. Because I was just thinking, like, I need to improve my Miraidon matchup. This slot needs to help with Miraidon, because it's fine. Like, I've got Walking Wake that can outspeed and Draco it. I've got Koraidon that resists it, but, you know, they could Draco and all that. So I wanted a slot that's good against Miraidon. And also, I need, like, extra things against Caloric Shadow Rider, because that's really good. So there's, like, well, like, come on. It's ground and normal, surely. But I don't have Trick Room, so what am I going to do? I don't have space for Trick Room. Like, I can't fit Trick Room on this team. So I guess I'm not going to use Ursaluna Blood Moon, and then I just disregarded it and then came back to it a little bit late, like very recently as of the time of this recording. Like, this is the final bit of, like, wait a minute, because of Moonlight. Moonlight pair with Koraidon, you get extra healing. So then you'd be able to bulk yourself out with the Calm Minds. You're already super bulky on the physical side. You could become unkillable because you're getting so much recovery with the Moonlight. Like, this is kind of a pseudo Lunala as such. Because Lunalas will run, like the Calm Mind variant, will run Moongeist Beam, Moonblast, Calm Mind, and Protect, and then run leftovers to get a little bit of recovery. Like, here's some recovery in Citrus Berry. I think I prefer the Burst if I've got access to regular recovery myself. Especially because I don't have Protect to get leftovers recovery. There is no space. But yeah, the Moonlight, that was the like huge light bulb moment in my head. Like, to the point where I actually like started talking to myself out loud. I never do that. Like, I have light bulb moments all that. It's like, oh, wait a minute, and then just hard focus on this. But like, I started like saying things to myself out loud that wait a minute kind of thing. So now it's going to suck when I go to Worlds, isn't it? But like, this might be the thing that tips over the edge for me, because like this makes too much sense in my head, given that it was like, okay, I've got these 5 Pokemon. What should be my 6th slot? And as far as I can see, this should be a perfect 6th member for this team. It makes too much sense in my head. I haven't played a game with it yet. I've been saying, like, when I came up with this, is like, okay, I'm going to start my Worlds Prep videos now because this could be a breakthrough moment and I need to start capturing it. So, yeah, played no games with this, and it's now going to suck, isn't it? But, as well, it could very easily just be mono-normal. Just like this. So, Blood Moon, Hyper Voice, I've looked at Silk Scarf as well. This spread is actually Silk Scarf based, because this amount of special attack after a Calm Mind is able to Terra Normal would be the Terra as well. After a Calm Mind, the Terra Normal Blood Moon OHKOs things that are built to survive the Life Orb Terra Normal Blood Moon. So then I'll be able to catch them very nicely. Then I had to think, and it's like, well, I might as well test out this one that's like a pseudo Lunala. And see if this is any good, because like things that this can do that the Terra Normal one can't is this Ursaluna could 1v1 a Zamazenta way more easily. Obviously the Mono Normal would very much not, but this easily does, because then you Terra Fairy, you resist the Body Press, and the Heavy Slam is just going to do nothing because you're both super heavy, and then I just Earth Power KO them. So that's one of the big things that this set can do that the normal one can't. I suspect that in general, the normal one would be better, because I can go for Terra Normal Blood Moon immediately, or just +1, wait a minute, Blood Moon OHKOs everything now. Whereas Earth Power and Moonblast will probably consistently two-shot things, unless I've got like +2. But yeah, this is the thing that's tipped me over the edge into I should actually start practicing now. So yeah, this is the current stage of where I'm at. I've got other ideas, like I've mentioned, like Brute Bonnet and Superior and Raging Bolt and all that kind of stuff, could definitely fit on the team. I think that maybe I could go King Gambit in this slot, and then Grimmsnarl changes to a different fake-out Pokemon. But at the moment, this is where I'm at. So I'm now going to start practicing. So hopefully this works out. Because like at this point, it's close enough that I would not have time to focus on anything else. I am bringing Banded Koraidon to Worlds. Like, I am very confident in that claim. I'd be incredibly surprised if that were no longer true. Like, if I record these videos and then suddenly I'm running some different restricted. Like, I'm quite confident I'm running Banded Coridon at this point. Just whether the EV spread changes and also whether I put U-turn over Heat Crash, but we will see. Anyway, what we got? Choice specs. Blizzard. With no Snowscape. There was that Covert Cloak Blizzard Kyogre with Terror Ice in the Japanese Nationals, but that was best of 1. So I'm not sure why Blizzard is there over Ice Beam, but there we go. So let's see. Pretty standard. Yeah. Okay. So, I feel like my Ursaluna can do reasonably well here. I leave Coridon in the back for sure. If I had you... Oh. Well, that was easy. So, moving on. I mean, I am at the bottom of the ladder. I need to just ladder up a bit. Because I was laddering on a different alt, and now I've made a brand new one for this version of the team, and I'm going to stick with this just until I get all my practice done. But this is just Michael Zhang's team. Yes, it is the Terrafire one, hence that's Focus Sash, isn't it? Yeah. I could not run this Tyranitar. That's too inconsistent. Like, Tyranitar is a good Pokemon, and it's going to be really annoying against a Coridon, because I want my Orichalcum Pulse. But at the same time, I could not run Stone Edge. Like, I can't do it. But theoretically, I'm good against Zamazenta. So this is theoretically where my Ursaluna is going to come into play, because against my Terra Fairy... Yeah, against my Terra Fairy Ursaluna, what do they have? I'm going to go with Grimmsnarl Ursaluna. I will bring Coridon in the back, and it's... sacrificing Goldengo or Volcarona is quite difficult, because those are both very good against Zamazenta as well. I think I want Goldengo because I want extra against the Tyranitar. So, let's see. Okay, so they can't fake out the Grimmsnarl, they're surely faking out the Ursaluna here. What do they got? Moonblast, Icy Wind, Protect. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to switch into Goldengo here on turn 1, for sure. I think I just foul play here. I should be able to take a Moonblast. I guess it could very easily just be either Wood Hammer or Fake Out into Ursaluna, and then Moonblast into the Grimmsnarl. My Goldengo wouldn't outspeed the Fluttermane after and a Scary Face, so I'm just going to... do I Fake Tears or Foul Play? Because if I get KO to the Moonblast, then Fake Tears was better. I'm going to Foul Play and switch. Yeah, it was just Fake Out. It should be... Oh, it's just Icy Wind. Fine with that. That doesn't make any difference to me. That's a good chunk. So... they got no switch into Foul Play and Make It Rain except for the Zamazenta. But then if they bring in the Zamazenta, what do they have against Goldengo? Do I Nasty Plot here, or do I just take the KO on the Fluttermane to free up my Coridon and my Ursaluna? I think I'm just going to take the KO. And they waste their Terror, so that's perfectly fine. Like, that was not worth it, surely. Because they would hammer KO themselves, so now they're maybe in range of single target? No, not quite. So, yeah, don't know why I was questioning that. Of course they weren't. Seems like I need to crop this a little bit better as well. Let me do that live, because... Where's filters? Hold on. Why can I not do that? Then I will instead move this down and have a little bit of black at the top, I think. Nope, that won't work. Oh well. This is where live editing comes into play, isn't it? Why is filter not there? It usually is. Oh, now it's gone. Come on, come back. There we go. Oh well, I will just do this one battle and then I'll end the video here so that I can actually get it properly. So, here's the Zamazenta. So, I will Scary Face the Fluttermane and Protect. And they've got rid of their booster energy, so that's pretty decent. This is an attack into the Grimmsnarl here. Like so. Almost clutched it, but Sandstorm. So, now... I can go into my Ursaluna, I can get my Terra Fairy, and if I can't mind, I don't really have much anymore. I assume I'm going to lose my golden go to knockoff. I outsped the Sash T-Tar for some reason. And I'm not going to lose my golden go because they didn't knock me off. Okay, so in that case, I will Earth Power here, and I will switch to the Koraidon. I mean, Stone Edge will do a lot to me now, won't it? So maybe I should have gone for the T-Tar, but oh well, too late. Oh, that did way more than I expected it would. Okay, so my theory of this Ursaluna beats the Zamazenta when it still actually takes a decent chunk. It's not ideal. So, now what? Because the Fluttermane's going to outspeed me. Now we'll attempt to make it rain, and Heat Crash is going to be 40 against the bow, so I need to Flare Blitz. Oh, they sacked the Fluttermane for some reason. And they didn't protect, so they just completely threw. So, we take those. I'm perfectly content with that. Come on, where's filters? Oh well, they fall for that one, because, yeah, the game was over. So, Ursaluna took more than I expected. But fair enough. Oh, and they're gone. So, I guess that's going to be it for this. So let me just think about what I would do. Would I change anything? What do they lead? Rillaboom and Fluttermane. So I'll probably lead with Grimmsnarl and Golden Go this time. Of course, I'm bringing Koraidon. And then my Volcarona does outspeed T-Tar. So it would still be reasonable to bring. I think that my Walking Wake is actually not too bad here as well. Like, obviously I'm clicking on the things and the guy's not going to be here. But, yeah, like that was more than I expected from the Heavy Slam. Was this the... Oh, did I was going to say, like, where was my Citrus Berry? I forgot to change my Silk Scarf back to Citrus Berry. I would have survived those attacks, wouldn't I? Oh well. So I got a couple of things to go and correct. Like, this is already actually an over 20-minute video. So I've got to go and recrop this because I thought it was cropped very well, but apparently it was only cropped for the team builder, not for the matches. So and I need to go and change my Ursaluna. But hopefully this is the start of my prep that made me the world champion.